This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog network. And now let's check in and see if CHARLEY-K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I've got a very clear copy. KC9VKV, K1GZL, Clarksville, northern New Hampshire, 4 air miles east and southeast of the closest part of the Quebec border of Canada. I'm copying you as much as S8 to 10/9 direct, as I don't have the capability of an SDR. Are you copying okay? Go ahead.
Roger, Roger, Charlie, 30 over on PASDR. Roger?
On PASDR. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Thank you for that. Here is a recording I made, I believe it was last Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, of a station north of Sydney, Australia, and south, north of Sydney, Australia, a little over 100 miles at Goffs Harbour, Goffs Harbour, and here he is. This is on 20 meters.
K1, Germany, no. K1, Golf Zulu, Lima. That's easier for me. Yeah, all right. Charlie. Yeah, the name's Les, Lima Echo Sierra. And you're about 10 to 15 dB over, so if you're running low power, you're coming through very, very well, Charlie. And I see you're over the other side there on the eastern side of the States. Where are we? Stewart's Sound. I've been there, but in Northern Ireland. Stewart's Sound. So, anyway, Sherbrooke, Montreal. All right, I've got you. All right, back over to you, Charlie. And we have worked before. Let's have a look when we worked before. Or have we? Come on. Yeah, we worked many times before. 40 meters, 20 meters, mostly 40 meters, I think. Yeah. But 20 meters, yeah, and a 15 back in 1998. That's been a while. Anyway, back over to you, Charlie. Kilo 1 Golf Zulu Lima VK2CBC. Right on the east coast between Sydney and Brisbane. I'll do it in miles for you. About 300 mile north of Sydney and about 250 mile south of Brisbane. A little place called Fox Harbour. Charlie Oscar Fox Sierra Harbour. Fox Harbour. Anyway, back over to you, Charlie. Over.
Okay, Jim, there it is. I wonder how that came through. KC9VKV, K1GZ and an L.
Oh, just absolutely perfect, as always, Charlie.
Just absolutely perfect, as always, Charlie.
Well, real fine. Thank you very much. Beautiful day up here. Beautiful day, somewhere around 48, 50 degrees. And that is above normal. We should normally get up to about 43 around the state, 42 degrees for a high. Well, look, Jim, I'll sign with you on this one, and we'll try to catch you next Friday, and I'll try to give you an update on what might be happening with this amplifier. But we're putting out just barely 400 watts. Instead of the usual 1,200, but about 10 or 15% of that is lost due to the extremely long coaxial cable I have feeding the antenna. So the very best to you, Jim, and I want to thank you very much for all the work that you're doing on trying to help fellow ham operators improve any equipment that they purchase and buy, and I'm sure that they appreciate it also. So back to you for a final, and I want to thank you again so much. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Roger, Charlie. Now that DX station that you were working, was his QTH in Australia?
We're working with
Is QC in Australia?
Roger, he was in Australia, near the east coast of Australia, I guess about 200 miles north of Sydney. That puts him just a little bit off the main lobe of my antenna on 20, but not by too much, maybe by about 12 degrees or so. So if I were pointed directly at him a little further west, he would have probably been even a little bit stronger. But I hope it sounded okay, Jim, and I want to thank you very much for your patience, and we'll probably have something new on here next week. It's KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Now, Australia is 13,000 miles away?
13,000 miles away?
Oh, no, not quite. This fellow, I would say, would be about 10,000, 9,800, 10,000. You get down around Melbourne, you get down a little further south and east, or south and west, then it's about 10,500. But I would say close to 10,000 miles, Jim. Go ahead.
Roger. So halfway around the world for sure, Roger?
Halfway around the world for sure, Roger.
Well, not quite, but getting close. If we work long path, it's more than halfway around the world, but we're not working long path, we're working short path from here across off the west coast, in this case probably Northern California, and then over Hawaii, got to pronounce it with a V, and then down across the Pacific Ocean, there. So it's quite a haul. And yet it's wonderful when you get propagation where sometimes even the lowest powered stations, in fact, a little bit later in the contact with this fellow, I heard him very well on 1 watt, and he was copying me on 4/10 of a watt Q5, and he was, I believe, running a step IR antenna at about 50 feet, in the air. And he was at as I mentioned previously, Coffs Harbor, and about 200 miles north of Sydney, where they have that famous opera house there. So Australia in the early morning on 20 lately has been very good. 73, and we'll see you next week, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. 73 is always good recording, great recording. Just a demonstration of the far reaches of ham radio capability. Unbelievable. All right, this is just a reminder. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog Network. My name is Jim, KC9VKV, better known in some circles as Dr. VKV, and we're recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days, so when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to our YouTube Qso-Vlog page, where we're currently featuring over 2,800 Qso-Vlog air check recordings. Well, without further ado, let's open it up, see who we've got out there. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.